Professor.
Good evening and welcome. We're of course gathered here to celebrate Steve and Vicky's marriage, but the first thing we have to do is legalize it. So I'm extremely honored to be in this position for you two. You both mean a lot to Angie and I, and I hope you enjoy some of the words I'm about to share. I spent quite a bit of time mulling over what to say. And I spent some time, Googling and looking for quotes online. I found things from Einstein. I found things in the Bible. I found things from Andy Rooney. I found all kinds of things. But in the end, I really felt like I should share from my own experience and something that I'd read and kind of knew before, which was an interview from Joseph Campbell. So I'd like to read from that for you, and then I'll have a few more words, and then we'll carry on. So Moyers is interviewing Joseph Campbell, and he's asking him directly about kind of modern Western marriage. And Joseph says, "Marriage is a relationship. When you make the sacrifice in marriage, you're sacrificing not to each other, but to unity in a relationship. The Chinese image of the Tao, the dark and light interacting, that's the relationship of the yin and yin, male and female, which is what marriage is. And that's what you have become when you have married. You're no longer this one alone. Your identity is in a relationship." Then he goes on to say, speaking from himself, "Now when I have to make a sacrifice, I'm not sacrificing to her. I'm sacrificing to the relationship. Resentment against the other is wrongly placed. Life in the relationship, that's where your life is now. That's what marriage is." And then to kind of further drive that point home, he says that marriage is the submission of the individual to something superior to itself. And for me, some of those thoughts, the idea of that thing that's superior to yourself, it triggered in me this thought that I've been married for 15 years now, and I struggle to conceive of who I was before I was married. My self-identity is so wrapped up with Angie's that I can't think of who that singular Doug was. I'm Doug and Angie. And to speak to the sacrifice, for my last 2 years, Angie has been living the maximal possible sacrifice you could think of. And it's my belief that there's no human that could maintain that kind of a pace without the benefit of that unity and comfort of marriage and that singular being that you become. And there are, of course, other social bonds that you can see these sorts of things happening in, and that those bonds thrive in. Friendship is an obvious one. And I've seen you two exhibit those things for me. I recall one time coming home from a brutal hospital stay and seeing you two in my kitchen cooking chicken soup. And while that may seem like a small act, it certainly is not. And it's my opinion that in marriage, it's not just about the big acts like what Angie's done for us, but it's about all the small things. And that's may sound a little bit like a warning, but I think it's also to bring out the point that it's very clear to me that you two have the tools you need to grow and nurture your Steve and Vicki. So with that said, I have two very important questions for you. Will you, Vicki, take Steve to be your lawfully wedded husband?
I do.
Will you, Steve, take Vicki to be your lawfully wedded wife?
I do.
This is good. With that said, then, Vicki, would you like to share your vows with Steve and exchange rings?
I, Vicki, take you, Steve, to be my lawfully wedded husband, secure in the knowledge that you will always be my best friend, my partner in life, and my one true love. I promise to love you each and every day, to always be honest with you, and to always be your reliable sous chef. I promise to comfort you, support you, and laugh with you. On this special day, I give to you and all those in attendance my promise to stay by your side as your faithful wife in sickness and in health, in joy and in sorrow, as long as we both shall live.
And Vicki, take this ring and put it on your husband. Steve, please share your vows with Vicki.
I, Steve, take you, Vicki, to be my lawfully wedded wife, secure in the knowledge that you will always be my best friend, my partner in life, and my one true love. I promise to love you without reservation, to always be open and honest with you, to make you laugh, and be a reliable and fun partner in all of our adventures. I promise to comfort you, support you, and make you yummy barbecue. On this special day, I give to you and all those in attendance my promise to stay by your side as your faithful husband in sickness and in health, in joy and in sorrow, as long as we both shall live.
Steve, take this ring and place it on Vicki's finger. Well, it's my extreme pleasure to say then, by the power vested in me as Deputy Commissioner of Marin County, and under the laws of the state of California, I now pronounce you wife and husband. So Steve and Vicki are going to escape for a few minutes. Please enjoy the food and talk amongst yourselves. They'll be back out shortly to
someone else, but not for me. Our love was out to get me. That's the way it seemed. Disappointment haunted all my dreams. Then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer. Not a trace of doubt in my mind. I'm in love. I'm a believer. I couldn't leave her if I tried.
Good evening, everyone. I am Angie Traeger. I am the wife of Deputy Doug here. I've known Steve for 15 years. And before I talk a little bit about Steve and Vicki, first I just wanted to say thanks for this opportunity to Steve and Vicki, to Sal and Mary Ann for making this occasion possible. I've really enjoyed meeting Vicki's family finally. It's just been such an honor. I'm going to try not to go over 3 minutes here. So, as much as I can say that I've known Steve for 15 years, I can't really remember much about life before Vicki. Well, why is that? They maybe have been dating for a very long, long time. What I do remember about life before Vicki was that when Steve was in between girlfriends, I was worried about the next one. One, is she going to let Steve go to band practice? Two, can she cook? Because they say the way to a man's heart is through his stomach, but Steve wanted to cook from Mary Ann, and it's a tough act to follow. So I heard about a special gal at work, Steve's work being expressions and well, this is promising. She won't kill the band, that's good, but can she cook? And Steve told a story about the gal making a cherry pie for her, and that is just unforgettable. So, I didn't have to look at her. We met Vicki. I was very excited. I loved her. She's practical, she's down to earth, she's smart, and oh yeah, can she cook? Over the years, we watched her support and champion the band. We watched them entertain and throw parties. I remember an epic lunch that Steve and Vicki cooked for Doug and I out on the patio, where they made avocado mousse served in a cocktail glass with little pork, what were they? Cracklings or something that Tom made. It was fantastic. What impresses me is not so much that they do this in a kitchen that's the quarter of the size of my kitchen, and they do it in a quarter of the time it would take me to do it, but that they work long hours, and on the weekends they're often telling me stories about driving down to visit with family, and how much they care about joining friends together and entertaining in the home. They really have become not just a couple, but I think a support network to many. And I want you to know, Steve and Vicki, how much I admire you guys. You're so talented, you're so generous, you contribute so much, and I'm so happy that today you decided to spend the rest of your lives together. And with that, I'd like to propose a toast. To Steve and Vicki, you've spent many, many happy years together. May you have many, many more.
You're here.
Cheers. You guys want to go ahead and...
Thanks, Angie.
You're welcome.